Today we're going to be cooking some ribs, but we're not going to be smoking them. So we are actually going to cook them on our barbecue box. So on our smoker rig that we got here at the shop, I went ahead and installed a 24-inch by 36-inch barbecue box. Basically, it's your direct heat grill, but it's made from 1/4-inch steel. So you'll see here in a minute. But we're going to be doing some ribs today. And rather than smoking them like what's our usual MO, we're going to do them on that. So I'm going to season them. We're not going to do any like a sweet rib this time. We're going to do something that's savory, you know, like a nice, good, salty, savory flavor. So we're going to season these up. We're going to get our fire going first. And then I'll show you what I put exactly on this right here. All right, so what you see here is our barbecue box. So this is a 24-inch by 36-inch barbecue box made from 1/4-inch steel. We do put 2 gas shocks on there, so it's easy to lift and bring down. You got 2 smokestacks. It does come with a Tell-True thermometer, so you can kind of measure the temperature, what's going on in there. You got your front loading door right here, right? So we're gonna go ahead as a startup. We're just gonna take the grill out, and then we're gonna set our coals in there. Let's get them lit up, let's get them going. And then little by little, we can feed them in. So I got a small stainless steel shovel that I can put in a little bit more coal. Well, we're gonna do a mix of like coal and firewood in here. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's get this fire going so we can cook up some ribs. We are using FOGO. We are a dealer here at PRM BBQ Co. of FOGO Premium Hardwood Lump Charcoal. So we're gonna be using this to get started. But again, this is just to get it started. And then we're gonna use some oak splits that we got here on the trailer. Now, typically what I do, again, there's a lot of different ways that you can get this going, but we're gonna lay this down. I got some tumbleweeds. We're gonna kind of put them in there and stack a little bit on. We're gonna get that fire going really good, okay? Now, usually you can use 1. I like to put in 2. We're gonna get this going right here, just like so. And if we do need to add a little bit of heat to it, you know, get things going, I do have on our trailers, we can put in some propane tanks to where you can add a torch, you know, like those big, those weed torches. That really helps get the fire going. And then we've also plumbed in, you know, steel black pipe throughout the trailer, so you have different connections. So I don't have it on this one, but we have done it before. The fire's still going, but let's go ahead and get this cooking grate in here, and then we'll go inside and season our ribs up. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and season our ribs up, and what we're gonna be using is a seasoning. It's a rib formula from Cluck and Squeal, and Mark generously sent this to us along with a bunch of other seasonings. So, hey, look, he sent this to us, and I'll give him a shout out on here on our channel. We don't sell any rubs yet in our store, but anywhere I can help, I'll definitely help, you know. So he's got a Montreal seasoning. They have an all-purpose. They got a savory spicy. Here's one that's called Tasty Hot. This is a Himalayan seasoned salt, okay. And then there's the bold browning seasoning and barbecue rub. So you got that one. What we're gonna be using today is the rib formula. So we're going to, like I said, coat them up, and then we're gonna be wet mopping them. So we're gonna make a little mixture using apple cider vinegar and some seasonings, and I'll show you those as we mix them. And we're gonna be using a mop here as we're cooking to keep them nice and moist. And the goal is that we want them nice and tender and cook up to temperature, right? So So let's go ahead and get that ready, and then we'll go from there. Typically, I don't remove the silver lining anymore. I just leave it on. And in this particular case, what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna score them, okay? So I'm not really gonna bother with completely removing it, but I am going to score it. And we're gonna pat these dry before we put the seasoning on them. Let's just go ahead and dry them up. We're only gonna score it. And I'm gonna score it this way. Okay. That's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm looking for a really savory taste today, right? So not going with the sweet. We're not gonna be adding anything. This has just a hint of sweet, tiny, tiny little bit. And let's just coat both sides. Onto the other side. The pretty side. Coat this up real nice and good. Don't be too afraid of it. We definitely got to get that flavor inside this meat. And you can use whatever seasoning you like. Of course, we're using this right here because, again, Mark sent this to us. He was kind enough to send us a whole care package right here of his rubs, and I'd like to give him a little shout out for doing that. So we got those nice and coated. We're going to set those to the side right now, and then we're going to go ahead and work on getting our wet mop sauce ready. So what we're going to do is, when we're cooking, obviously it's hot over here, right? When we're cooking, we're gonna cook and we're gonna sear them up, and we're probably gonna move them over here, close off that stack over there, and then we'll get to cooking and we'll get a little bit of smoke, right? Get a little bit of smokiness, but definitely that live fire grilling, man. Ooh, that's looking great. So we'll go ahead and shut this down. I think this is burning good. We'll leave this open. Of course, it's got a little notch right here just like that, so we can let that breathe, do its thing. Boom. Let's go finish up making our wet mop sauce. Hey, by the way, we also got some sausage from Midway. This is a sweet chipotle, so we're gonna be grilling this on the barbecue box. I was gonna say the grill, right? But it's the barbecue box, man. So we got this little container here, and what we're gonna do is we're going to measure by heart, because I didn't bring any type of measuring spoons or anything like that. But we're gonna make a wet mop, all right? Now this is kind of loosely based off of a 3-2-1 recipe. First off, we're gonna run a little bit of cayenne pepper. And again, I'm just gonna measure it just like that. It's got a little bit of heat. We're gonna get a little bit of heat. I would say, if I had to guess, that's probably half a tablespoon, okay? We're gonna run with that. We're gonna put some onion powder, all right? Because again, we want it savory. I want to have some flavor. So again, maybe about another half a tablespoon of onion powder, about a tablespoon of salt, okay? We're gonna go ahead and squeeze in the juice of 1 lemon. Squeeze it really, really good. Get all the juice you can. Let's go ahead and put in our apple cider vinegar. Let's go ahead and put that cap on real nice and tight. Just give it a shake. All right, looks nice and mixed. Let's taste it, man, with a little pinky. That's pretty good. Look at them things. Woo-wee. Gonna be cooking it up good, man. What I want to do is I'm gonna put them face down or flesh side down, not the bone side. Because what I would like to do is just add a really quick sear to them, kind of lock in them juices, you know, and then from there we'll go ahead and start mopping it. But we're gonna be rotating back and forth. So right now we're probably it's about 420 degrees inside, which is great. Where we want to be is about that 350 to 400 degrees, right? When we're cooking. So let's go ahead and load these up. Let's start cooking some ribs. Oh, and I did say we were going to put them face down first. So let's go ahead and run those face down really quick. Come on in a little bit closer. Take a look at it. Our ribs, it's been about 5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and throw some sausage, start firming it up. We can snack on that before the ribs are done, obviously. But right now we're at about 325, so we're going to, we opened it up a little bit just to let it breathe a little more. We want to get a little more heat up in there. Take a little poke at it. Yeah, we're doing good. I just want to make sure it's not burning, but check it out. Definitely getting a little sear in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to distribute the coals a little bit, because I want to push them back where they're cooking evenly across the whole rib. All right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add another split because I want to keep the fire going. Now, one thing is we're gonna go ahead and close this off. That heat stays right here. We're gonna have it let it come out on this stack. All right, so let's run it just like that. So right now we got temperature dropped a little bit because I added a split on there, but as soon as it catches, but what I like about it is that you can smell the protein and the seasoning already on there. And but as it's smoking, man, or as that piece of split that we put in there starts to catch fire, you're getting some smoke. And so we're gonna get some good smoke flavor into our ribs. But of course, we're gonna be cooking at a much hotter temperature. And we're gonna be cooking them nice and fast. So we'll just wait until that temperature kicks back up again, and then we'll flip them. So we're gonna go ahead and start mopping this because we want this to stay nice and wet, man. Just like this, that's all we're doing. Just putting it right on top. That's it right there. And then we'll come back to it in 15 minutes or so, and we'll add a little more. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip them, and we're gonna put some of this wet mop on there, so let that smoke clear out. And I did just add a couple more small splits. And when I say small, I mean something like this. Okay, that way they ignite faster, they burn, turn into that coal a lot quicker. But so far looking really good. Color of the ribs is looking nice, and we're going to move them over and rotate them because we're cooking them with a lot hotter temperature, right? So we have to basically baby them a little bit. I'm going to switch them like so. I'm going to get this. I'm gonna put that on this side just like that. Let that do its thing for a little bit. Flip our sausage. So we're getting really good heat in here, really good temps. So the barbecue box been holding steady now that we got the fire under control. So that's one of the key factors, okay? Always remember that when you get your fire going, it's gonna be volatile. So you're gonna have some temperature swings that are gonna go up really high, and then it's gonna drop down when you add your firewood. But once you have it under control and you have embers cooking, embers rolling, right? Which is what we have right now. We're at about 375 and it's holding steady. It doesn't drop too much. It's not going up too high. You know, if we put an extra split in, it'll burn it up. We'll get a little bit of smoke. But you can see as far as heat coming out, it's nice and clean. You know, I mean, it's just doing what it's supposed to. But let's go ahead and check out these ribs really quick. And man, I'll tell you, they're looking good. So look at them, they're getting nice and toasted up. And we're gonna rotate them. We're gonna spin them around a little bit. Now, I got my coals over here on this side, so let me show you really quick. I got my coals over here on this side, and then we're cooking our ribs over here on this side. And I can feel them starting to get really tender, okay? You can even see the bones starting to pull back on that. That's what we're looking for. And that's pretty much it. So we put these ribs in at about 11 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock, so it's 2 hours. So we probably have about another 45 minutes to an hour until they're done. We're really not gonna add any more firewood. We're just gonna let all that simmer down. We want it to start to cool off and slowly bring those ribs up to temperature and get them nice and cooked and get them nice and tender. But so far, I like what I see. Can't wait to cut into them. So stay tuned. Again, here's your barbecue box at work. All right, guys, so I think we're getting pretty close to done. Just gonna hit this one more time with this wet mop. Now it is 1:45, ribs went in at 11 o'clock, so it's been about 2 hours and 45 minutes. And I think we're pretty much ready. We're done here. These ribs are pretty done. And it looks really good. I actually tore a little piece off of the bark, and man, it's very savory. Just a totally different flavor than what I've used to been cooking lately. Often, you know, I've been just kind of smoking ribs, but I really like grilling them in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and, I mean, they're pretty tender. Like I said, I know they're cooked. I didn't bring a meat probe, but they're pretty cooked, you know, and feels pretty soft. So we're going to cook them maybe for like just another 20 minutes or so. And then we're gonna pull them off here and we're gonna see how they turned out. The next time you see us, we're gonna be inside slicing up some ribs. Now this is the first time that I've cooked ribs like this. And I know it looks a little toasted up, but I think what that is mainly the rub that I put on there, right? But remember, we grilled these ribs, okay? We've grilled them, we didn't smoke them. So we're gonna have a little bit of char, but we're gonna go ahead and cut into it. And let's just see how they came out. Let me get up in there. I don't wanna burn my finger. Okay, all right, they look pretty juicy. They don't look dry. Let's dig in. That came all right off the bone. I like the flavor on the outside. It's got this nice like tangy taste to it. Very savory, you know, salty. They're super tender. They're just coming right off the bone. Totally different than smoking ribs. Definitely worth experimenting on some more recipes. Cooking ribs like this. We did them in about 2 hours and 40 minutes, and they were done. Most of the time, we were at 350 degrees, 375 degrees, holding nice and steady. Got a real unique flavor to it. It would taste great, you know, with like a different kind of sauce too. Like I want to experiment with some different sauces, but I really like the way they came out. So, hey, look guys, if y'all are interested in a barbecue box to make ribs like this, let me know. We can get you going really quick. We can build them pretty fast, which means that the lead times are a little bit shorter than what they normally would be. But if you want to put them on your barbecue bit and you want to have one of these, you know, with your whole smoker rig, then let me know. We can do it. That one right there was a 24 by 36 inch, but like I said, we make them in 48-inch length varieties and 72-inch lengths. So, guys, we're at the corner of Rouse Street and Highway 90 in Brookshire, Texas. If you find yourself needing a barbecue box, let me know. We can help you out. And if you need that smoker pit, we can get those too. And if you've got the will and the skill, but not the dollar bill, let my banking partner help you out. And don't forget, we are your prime barbecue company. Peace.